In the tradition of presidents before him, President Barack Obama recently threw out the first pitch of Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. And actually, it was pretty, okay, in all honesty, it was, well, some people said,
the guy throws like a girl.
Let's just say he was no George Bush. Look, I'm no expert on what makes a good throw, but it occurred to me that Obama may not have much of a pitching arm because as a child, he lacked what many boys in this country had, a dad to play catch with. You see, Obama's dad left when he was 2, and although his mother remarried, from what I can gather, Obama may have grown up around men who spent more time sharing radical ideas with him than fastballs. What's admirable, however, is that Obama may not have been blessed with a father as a role model, but he appears to be a devoted and involved husband and father himself.
As somebody who grew up without a father in the home, I have a pretty good sense of what that means and the long-term void that isn't filled when a father is not in the home.
Additionally, he presents himself as an incredibly positive role model and on occasion makes a point to speak to the black community about how important it is for their children to live in an intact family. This is all good. That is until I remembered that many times what Mr. Obama says to crowds is different from what he actually does. Given that, I've looked into these messages to the black community and found that they are likewise wrought with stunning contrasts. For instance,
when I see young African-American men who in some ways had less than I did, who were less financially stable, maybe didn't have the support of grandparents to go along with a mother to support them, and I see them drifting and getting into trouble and getting involved in drugs and criminal activity. I think that there is a social consequence to that as well as a personal consequence.
See, there, Obama just expressed the plight of young black men who get involved in drugs and criminal activity. Yet here is when he revealed that he's a big fan of rap artist Ludacris, whose songs and videos glorify violent, drug-ridden gang life and blatantly disrespect women.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way.
I can look at the picture. Obviously, connecting with Ludacris worked out well during his campaign when black people questioned if he was black enough. Speaking out now about thug life being bad for a brother seems like a pretty mixed message. This time, Obama presented a message to an all-black church congregation about the importance of children having fathers in the home.
We are most dependent on the family. The family is that most important foundation. And we are called to recognize and honor how critical every father is to that foundation. But if we're honest with ourselves, we'll admit that too many fathers are also missing. Too many fathers are MIA. Too many fathers are AWOL. Missing from too many lives and too many homes.
Which is indeed a good message. Unfortunately, it's undercut by the fact that he's such an ardent supporter of cradle-to-grave welfare programs. We've already seen how these types of entitlement programs he endorses virtually destroyed the black family, aided in generational government dependency, and have been largely responsible for rendering black fathers in the community redundant and obsolete. So one has to ask, does he really want the black family to succeed and pull out of these fatherless patterns, or stay dependent on policies he strongly endorses, which have actually undermined that possibility? Next is the most stunning and disturbing contradictions of Obama's pro-black family messages. While he emphasizes concern for the well-being of black children, his audience is probably completely unaware of the literal genocide of black babies that's carried out by one of Barack Obama's most loyal supporters, Planned Parenthood. I wonder how different their reactions might be if he told them the history of this organization and its founder, Margaret Sanger. How Margaret Sanger embraced eugenics and in 1939 started the Negro Project, aimed at slowing the growth of the black population or reversing it altogether, and how she created Planned Parenthood with the purpose of racial purification. He could use Miss Sanger's own words describing how she viewed certain races, especially blacks, as inferior, referring to them as human weeds, reckless breeders, and human beings who never should have been born. Sadly, with the help of progressive leaders like Obama and many like-minded people in his administration, Margaret Sanger's work lives on and is being carried out even today.
I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision.
They have successfully placed a disproportionate number of their clinics in the inner city. As a result, a disproportionate number of black babies are being killed every day, which is information about this group I sincerely doubt Mr. Obama exposes when he's speaking to this group.
Thanks to all of you at Planned Parenthood for all the work that you are doing for women all across the country and for families all across the country and for men who have enough sense to realize you're helping them all across the country.